How to Rewire Your Brain for Confidence, Dr. Joe Dispenza. The Moment of Doubt. Kai Thompson stood beneath the harsh fluorescent lights of his home office, heart pounding as he stared at the blinking cursor on his screen. He'd been invited to pitch his breakthrough app at a major tech summit in 2 days, but he felt unqualified, unprepared, unconfident. Every scenario in his mind played out as disaster, stumbling over words, forgetting key features, watching investors lose interest. That night, Kai scoured YouTube for anything that might help. He stumbled onto a lecture by Dr. Joe Dispenza, the neuroscientist turned spiritual teacher who blends quantum physics with brain rewiring. Dispenza spoke of rewiring neural circuits through focused intention and elevated emotion. Kai paused. "Change your brain, change your life," Dispenza said. "When you move from survival to creation, you can transcend your past programming." Kai felt a spark he hadn't felt in years. Possibility. Understanding the default program. Dr. Joe Dispenza teaches that our brains run on autopilot, governed by habitual thoughts and emotions encoded as neural networks. These patterns formed by past experiences create our default reality. If those networks are steeped in self-doubt, our behavior follows suit. For Kai, his default program was fear-based. Fear of judgment. Every critical look from a colleague reinforced his story of inadequacy. Fear of failure. Past stumbles in school presentations had carved deep grooves of avoidance. Fear of success. Oddly, envisioning triumph triggered anxiety. He worried about high expectations. Dispenza calls this cycle memory over matter. Reliving past events locks us into a familiar loop, even if it's painful. Kai realized that to break free, he'd need to identify the habitual thoughts fueling his fear, interrupt those thought-emotion circuits, install new neural networks of confidence. Knowing thyself, mapping your inner landscape. Dr. Dispenza emphasizes self-awareness as the first step. He guides practitioners to journal their habitual mental chatter and emotional triggers. Kai grabbed a notebook and began. "When I think about the summit, I say to myself, I can't do this. My chest tightens, my palms sweat, my breath shallows. I imagine everyone noticing my flaws." Writing these patterns down illuminated how often his mind defaulted to defeat. Dispenza's work suggests that labeling thought-emotion loops activates the prefrontal cortex, creating space between stimulus and response. Kai set an intention. "I will observe my fears without judging them." This subtle shift from being consumed by fear to being a curious observer marked the beginning of new neural firing. The power of elevated emotions. Joe Dispenza teaches that thinking alone isn't enough. You must pair new thoughts with elevated emotions. When you feel gratitude, joy, or courage, you generate a unique electrical signature that rewires synaptic connections more rapidly than thought alone. Kai's daily practice became meditation. Each morning, he sat for 20 minutes, focusing on his breath and cultivating a sense of gratitude for supportive friends, for his creative mind, for the opportunity ahead. Visual rehearsal. He vividly imagined walking on stage, voice steady, audience captivated. He allowed himself to feel the pride and excitement of nailing the pitch. Energy amplification. Following Dispenza's guided audio, Kai raised his energy, sweeping his arms in slow motion, feeling his heartbeat sink with purposeful determination. Within days, those emotional surges began to feel familiar. He caught himself smiling in traffic, feeling genuine optimism. His wife noticed a new sparkle in his eyes, breaking the habit of being yourself. In his book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, Dispenza outlines a 3-step method. Disconnect from your past self by becoming aware of the thoughts that run your life. Retrain your mind by focusing on a new vision and feeling it as if it's already real. Reinforce the new neural circuits with repetition until they become your new default. Kai implemented this framework with entrepreneurial rigor. Daily awareness logs, tracking every moment of self-doubt and interrupting it with a Bell app on his phone. Vision board creation. He filled a large canvas with images of confident speakers, thriving users, and headlines praising his success. Consistent practice. Every time a fearful thought emerged, Kai paused, took 3 deep breaths, and rehearsed a confident response. By week 3, he noticed a shift. When a negative thought surfaced, it no longer hijacked his entire mental state. Instead, it faded faster, replaced by empowered possibilities. Applying confidence to entrepreneurial action. Confidence, Dispenza explains, isn't arrogance. It's the internal certainty that you can handle whatever arises. For entrepreneurs, this translates to decisive action, thoughtful risk-taking, and resilience in the face of setbacks. With his new mindset, Kai tackled his business plan differently. Bold outreach. Instead of timid, cold emails, he crafted personalized, value-driven messages to potential partners, sending 10 a day with genuine enthusiasm. Iterative feedback. He released an early demo of his app to 50 beta testers, inviting harsh feedback. He framed criticism as gold data to refine his product. Public speaking practice. Kai joined a local Toastmasters club. He volunteered for every speaking slot, relishing each opportunity to step outside his comfort zone. Each action reinforced his new brain wiring. Dispenza's research suggests that repeated behaviors fired by elevated emotion physically reshape the brain's white matter, strengthening pathways aligned with the new self. Transcending the survival mind, Dispenza contrasts the survival brain driven by the amygdala and knee-jerk reactions with the creative brain governed by the prefrontal cortex, capable of planning and innovation. Under pressure, Kai used to fall back into survival mode, fight, flight, or freeze. Now he practiced a simple pause technique. Stop whatever he was doing. Drop into his breath, slowing it. Observe sensations in his body. Choose a deliberate, values-aligned response. Before a major investor meeting, Kai used this technique. When anxiety spiked, he paused in the lobby, breathed, and calmly reminded himself of his vision. He walked in composed, delivered his pitch fluidly, and secured a seed investment, building a confidence ecosystem. True transformation thrives in the right environment. Dispenza stresses creating an ecosystem that supports your new self. People. Kai distanced from chronic naysayers and aligned with a mastermind group of growth-minded entrepreneurs. Places. He redesigned his workspace with uplifting art, a meditation corner, and natural light. Practices. He scheduled daily meditation, weekly gratitude dinners with friends, and monthly reflection retreats in nature. This ecosystem became fertile ground for his rewired brain to flourish, accelerating confidence and creativity. The power of coherence. Dr. Dispenza highlights heart-brain coherence synchronizing your emotions and thoughts as a gateway to sustained change. Kai monitored his coherence using a simple heart rate variability app, aiming to maintain a balanced state even under stress. When deadlines loomed, instead of spiraling, Kai focused on heart-centered gratitude for his team, visualized successful outcomes, feeling the joy as if achieved, took aligned actions, delegating tasks, breaking work into focused sprints. This coherence practice kept him calm, clear, and consistently confident, even when crises arose, multiplying impact through leadership. As Kai's confidence soared, he realized his role wasn't just to succeed personally, but to uplift others. Inspired by Dispenza's teaching that elevated states radiate outward, he mentored 3 junior developers, teaching them confidence-building techniques, hosted confidence workshops for local startups, blending neuroscience with actionable exercises, published articles on LinkedIn about rewiring the brain for leadership, generating international interest. His ripple effect multiplied. Collaborators described Kai as a catalyst, someone whose presence alone elevated team morale and performance, sustaining the new you. Dr. Dispenza warns that without ongoing practice, OLD neural circuits can reassert themselves. Transformation isn't a one-time event. It's a lifestyle. Kai integrated morning priming with elevated emotions, weekly vision check-ins to realign goals and feelings, monthly retreats for deep meditation and recalibration, quarterly mastermind summits to refresh his network and share breakthroughs. Over a year, these rituals cemented his rewired brain, making confidence his default state. Your journey to confidence. You may be reading this and feeling that familiar twinge of doubt. But remember, neurons that fire together wire together. Every time you choose courage over fear, gratitude over complaint, creation over survival, you are cementing new pathways in your brain. Ask yourself, what thought-emotion loop is holding you back? How can you observe it without judgment? What elevated emotion will you pair with a new, empowering thought? What bold action will you take today that aligns with your vision? Embrace Dr. Joe Dispenza's invitation. To change your mind, you must change your brain. And by doing so, you transform not just your confidence, but your life and your impact in the world. The entrepreneur inside you is waiting. Rewire your brain and step fully into the confident leader you were always meant to be.